Support for the Leadoff on WGLT and WGLT.org comes from the Central Illinois Regional Airport, offering seasonal nonstop service to Denver. Outdoor concerts, hiking, and more activities in the Mile High City are one flight away on Frontier Airlines. Close, convenient, Sierra. More at CIRA.com.
A plan is taking shape to address housing needs in the city of Bloomington. That's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Wednesday, May 22nd. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with McLean County's ongoing housing shortage and what the Bloomington City Council may do to address it. WGLT's Melissa Ellen shares what developed from a 45-minute housing discussion this week.
Bloomington City Manager Jeff Jurgens said at a Monday City Council meeting that he wants to see the needle move on the county's housing shortage sometime this summer.
I really hope that at our last meeting in June, we come forward with a concrete plan, a resolution that this council can act on.
Housing panelists at the meeting recommended providing incentives to developers and builders. They say any solution needs to focus on affordable housing opportunities. That extends beyond the government-subsidized definition. Panelists say to look at what people in the area can generally afford. Mayor Mboka Mulamwe says he doesn't want housing to impede the city's growth.
We certainly need to look at how we address an issue like this in the long term. We don't want to find ourselves in a similar situation 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now.
There are plans to talk with developers and banks next month to see how the city can encourage new units. City Manager Jeff Jurgens is also part of conversations to improve housing efforts for the unsheltered population. For the Leadoff, I'm Melissa Ellen.
Here's some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. Heavy dust storms shut down sections of Interstate 55 and 74 in McLean County during yesterday's afternoon commute. Some stretches were at zero visibility, with a rare dust advisory coming from the National Weather Service. Bloomington police say they've arrested 3 people in connection with an armed robbery at an apartment on Oakbrook Court on the city's Near East Side. One person was seriously injured in that incident last November. And the Celtic punk band Dropkick Murphys are booked for a show at Bloomington's Grosinger Motors Arena on October 24th with special guests Pennywise and The Scratch. Tickets go on sale Friday. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. In June, the McLean County Museum of History will celebrate the first ever second-generation history maker on record. Paul Penn received that honor in 2012, and now it's his son John's turn. Throughout much of his 5 decades in union leadership, Penn also chaired the McLean County Democratic Party. But he tells WGLT's Lauren Warnicki that working with Republicans was a critical part of the job.
Congressman Ed Madigan, Republican, actually helped open the door for labor in Central Illinois. And then later in life, Congressman Ray LaHood, again Republican. So we were smart enough to know, hey, we've got to work both sides of the aisle. And when you have a good person, regardless of their politics, we want to make sure we support that person. And that really opened the door for organized labor. You know, when labor joins the Chamber of Commerce, that's almost unheard of.
Really?
And you think, why are you joining the Chamber of Commerce? Well, we got the same interests. You know, we want business to grow. We want to retain business. We want to bring in new business. We want good health insurance. We want good education. We want good paying jobs. So we actually, when you say that, are you a chamber or are you a labor? You know, well, no, we're a citizen of this county. What's best for this county?
2 things kind of related to looking back on the span of your career. So I'm thinking like an umbrella question is how you perhaps moved the needle for organized labor. And one thing I want to point to in talking about that is your advocacy for activating the membership to get involved in their communities.
Well, I was very young when I became a business manager.
Yeah.
And most of the business managers were World War II veterans. And so they're in their 40s and I'm 25. And I said, let's try this, let's try that. And been there, done that, can't do it. So I said, would you mind if I at least try it again? And I had 2 good friends, Roger Nelson and Glenn Anderson Labors, and the 3 of us started working on the union newspaper, the Labor Day Parade, And then we just started bringing in more and more people. So then when we run for office every 3 years, to be on our slate, you had to serve on a committee. You had to be willing to do extra. If you just went to work, which is a tough job, 8 to 4:30 in this heat, rain, mist, snow, and etc. But we're looking for that extra. And it was unbelievable, the number of people that stepped forward. And it was kind of comical because when they did the bio on me, they said, John Penn's going to grab a shovel. And I said, don't put that in there. My God, the membership will laugh. That's silly, But I just knew I could commit because I knew that we had a membership that would follow through with it. And so, to be considered a history maker, second generation with my father, he would tell you the same thing. The people that deserve that honor is a membership of 362.
Clearly, over the course of your 50-year career, well, almost, just short of 50 years in union leadership. And I don't mean this disparagingly, but you kind of got further and further away from the source, right?
No question.
Yeah.
Of course, I went to our local meeting on a regular basis, and I talked to our business managers, and I actually attended a lot of the local union business managers meetings throughout the 10-state area. At the local level, I was able to do certain things because I had 500 members. When I went to the district council, now I've got 3,000 members, so I can do a little bit more because of the power of numbers. And then when I went to the region, now I've got 58,000 members. Actually, by me moving on, I was in a better position to help the people back home and their families.
You see certainly the traditional trades as having strong union representation, but now we're seeing Starbucks franchises unionize. We're seeing ISU faculty look to unionize, right? And certainly their concerns are different. I guess in this kind of 2024 landscape, what does unionizing symbolize?
When we organize and we sit down at the table, the hardest thing for a first collective bargaining agreement for the union to get is the two simple words, just cause. Without the word just cause, you might as well not even have a collective bargaining agreement. To me, when most people talk about unionizing, it's not so much about wages. A lot of people think it is. It's more about a voice in your workplace, and it's more about work rules than it is money when you unionize. Now, money comes into play, but that's not the reason they're calling you.
That's John Penn, one of this year's McLean County History Makers. He spoke with WGLT's Lauren Warnicki. Penn and the other history makers will be honored June 18th. Before we let you go, Bloomington's Public Safety and Community Relations Board, also known as the city's Police Civilian Review Board, meets today at 3:30 at the Government Center. Various police department updates are on the agenda. And that's it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. You can subscribe to The Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.